Hey, horsey gun dog people. I don't know where I'll post this video, but this is a great. I talk a lot about training dogs in the military and dealing with very aggressive dogs that sometimes your own dog will bite you for various reasons. You step on them, they get scared. They're trying to bite the bad guy and they accidentally bite you. It's dark. He gets confused. So there's a lot of reasons. Sometimes they're just mean and they want to bite you. But the best way I've always tried to describe defending yourself against a dog, if they're off leash, you have to grab that neck and hold that neck area, which isolates their mouth. This guy does a pretty good job at demonstrating this. I got a couple tips that I think he should have done, but we'll get to that. I've talked before about the helicopter move. You start spinning anytime you have a dog and it keeps their back legs off the ground. So if they're on leash, you hold the leash up and you spin, and it keeps their back legs. Centrifugal force will keep them spinning. Same thing when you're got them by the neck. So I'll discuss that when we get to that. But here we go. Let's look at this. It starts with. So guy comes out. He sees the dog. Does a good job keeping a barrier between them. He's using the barrier to push the dog. This dude's got bad luck. This little dog comes in. I think the little dog's going to try to protect him. He starts biting the guy in the ankle. But he ignores the smaller threat and continues on the bigger threat. He's getting bitten in the ankle by this little dog. He's backing the dog in using good pressure and release. For my horsey people, he's putting pressure with this thing, and the dog is removing from the pressure from being hit or being pushed. So the dog he's pushing the dog back into the gate, does a pretty good job, even while kicking the little dog off his heels. Stays focused. Okay, so here's where it gets a little touchy. He can't push him far enough to shut this door, and the dog is able to get over this bench right here. Okay, so now it goes to shit, and he loses his barrier. So now he's hands-on. He's grabbing the neck. Gotta grab that neck. Take the bite, grab that neck. When you grab the neck, you're grabbing the jugular veins, you're grabbing blood flow, you're controlling the head, and if you can get the windpipe when you're grabbing the neck, you cut off the air. So grabbing the neck is critical to defending yourself against a dog. He's doing a good job. This pinning him, I'm not a big fan of this because he can bite you in the chest and stomach, etc. But he's using his weight to pin the dog and to keep his head immobile. And he still has his hands around the dog's neck. So he's able to either wear the dog out or flatten him. I don't know if the dog passed out or if he just gave up for a little bit. Again, he's controlling that neck and head. He's able to lead it. He's got his hands crossed over, not ideally as good. It would be better if his right hand was on the right side, left hand on the left side, and he was able to use his knees to control the shoulders and keep the dog like between his legs, and he's got his head immobilized with his hands, and then he controls his body with his knees. But he's doing the best he can. Kind of gets him over here. Has to go around his obstacle. And the dog is turned around. That's the problem. Now he starts trying to avoid getting bit on the hands. And I think he gets bit on the leg. And he loses his shoe because he kicks him. As soon as you let go of the head, it becomes the dog gets to pick his target. So now the dog comes back out. He's moving good. Moving away. Punching. Reestablishes the head. So this is the best way to control the dog right here. Once you get that neck and head and you can hold him up, you take away his ability to jump, run, scratch, maneuver, use his agility against you, and you're controlling the danger area. You know, the business end of a horse is behind his rear feet. The danger area of a dog is his bite. So he's controlling that area, brings him in here, gives him a good toss, and then he's able to shut the door. At this point, where he gets him here, if there wasn't a door available, he could have thrown him in an open car and slammed the door, and that locks the dog in. If there's a window down, you can throw him through a window. If there was this pole here, I would just spin the dog, and when I was spinning him, getting some good force, I would hit his ribs right on that, disrupt his spine and rib cage area. Could you bang his head into the wall? Heads are pretty tough. The dog has a very hard head that protects his brain area. So trying to demobilize him by banging his head usually isn't that effective. But if you spin him and either throw him over a roof or do a body slam, you spin circular and then you go up and then straight down on the ground, you can knock their breath out. And when you knock the breath out of a dog, he stops fighting because he goes into survival mode and he wants to grab his breath. And in the military, we'd do this when we would helicopter them on a choke collar. It would cut their air off. And then pretty soon they couldn't get air. Their tongue would come out. They're about to pass out. And then we let them fall on the ground. And they're not attacking because they're disoriented. They're trying to get their breath. They go into survival mode. Now, if you wait too long, once they get their breath, they can go back into fight mode. Sometimes they go back into submission mode and said, I don't want to do that again, and then they don't try and bite you. He throws him in the door, which is kinder and better. I'm okay with that, but if that wasn't available, spin him, bounce him off a bumper of a car, bounce him off a pole, and protect yourself. Pretty good video. Like I said, I think he did a lot of things right in this video. Didn't panic, didn't try to run. Running from a dog never works well. You have to stay focused. Turning around and running, you're screwed. You'll notice this guy never, I don't think he does, ever turn his back to this dog. He's always face forward, trying to confront him and keep him in front of him. In front of him, in front of him. Took a leg bite there, pinned the dog down. I mean, if you have no other option, you got to do this and you're on the ground, then pinning him is a good thing. Because trying to get up is hard. But you really don't want to go on the ground. You want to stay in the advantage like he does later on in the video. Stays in front, faces. Finally gets him in a good hold where he needs him. And he blocks him in there. Good job. Anyway, I'll probably post this on all my channels because there's good information. All right, y'all have a good one.